So the purpose of a lead generator is to do 85% of the selling. I work so hard on my lead generators because I am trying to craft the perfect psychological path. If they don't already believe that you can solve their problem before the call, you lost the sale. And you lost it days ago on Instagram, in your funnel, in your lead magnet even, like before you even say hello. Because the real game in business is in pre-sales. Those are the people that are the most successful. And it's engineering, and I'm going to get into it, a psychological path that takes a stranger from neutral to curious, to seen, to trusting, to ready. You have to craft this perfect psychological path, and I'll explain exactly what that is. You need to make sure that after they've, watched you on the internet, that you are now not just the person that they really like, but you are a logical solution before you ever speak to them. Because once you're a logical solution, the sale's already made. I'm just gonna get right to it. I feel very strongly on this topic. Just gonna tell you guys now, very strongly. It's about the marketing in your business and how it's a never-ending thing that you have to do. But, because I love you guys, I want to be truthful. And this is just the hard news to deliver, but it's the news that's going to make you successful. So we just gotta do it. Okay. Your marketing should do about 85% of the selling. So the thing that most business owners never figure out is that the talent isn't enough to rise, right? You don't scale because you're nice, but that is a part of it. You don't hit 7 figures because you're a good person. You rise in business for one simple thing. You learn how to make people want to buy from you before you ever speak to them. And so that is the topic for today, because a lot of us wait for the call, the consultation. But the thing is, your marketing, the purpose of your marketing, and I'm talking about your content, I'm talking about your funnel, it should be doing 85% of the selling long before they ever message you or book a call. The call or the DM should basically be a formality. That's the goal, a heartbeat check. Just 1 or 2 clarifying questions and then card number. Most people's content, though, is so vague, it's so weak, it's so forgettable that the sales call or the consultation, it just kind of like becomes a hostage situation. You're pushing, you're convincing, you're babysitting, it feels like, because your marketing never did its job. Your content isn't clear enough. Your story isn't sharp enough. Your lead generator isn't engineered well enough. So I want you guys, if you are the face of your business, raise your hand if you're the face of your business. You're the face, right? And that is your job to pre-sell. The pre-sale experience isn't strong enough to create conviction. And people wonder why their close rate is so low. If they don't already believe that you can solve their problem before the call, you lost the sale. And you lost it days ago on Instagram, in your funnel, in your lead magnet even, like before you even say hello. Because the real game in business is in pre-sales. Those are the people that are the most successful. And it's engineering, and I'm going to get into it, a psychological path that takes a stranger from neutral to curious, to seen, to trusting, to ready. You want to take them from a stranger to convicted, to decisive, before you ever show up. Your job as a CEO, if you're the face of your business, is not to pitch harder. It's to make your marketing so compelling, so emotionally resonant, logically even, not just emotionally, but let's say logically just airtight and so personally calibrated that the only thing left for them to decide is payment plan or pay in full. So your content needs to create desire. If your lead magnet isn't doing the reshaping of the identity, if your story that you're telling isn't building trust, if your teaching isn't giving clarity, then your sales calls feel like wrestling matches and you'll lose more than you win because business isn't a game of pressure. Think about it more like a game of preparation because most people lose before the sale even begins. You don't need louder sales calls. You need smarter marketing. You need a lead generator. The lead generator is so important. This is how the thing that you give for free to collect emails and phone numbers. Your lead generator, and we're going to go over the framework here, needs to take somebody from I don't know her to if anyone can help me, I'm sure that she's the one that can. So you may have to create a lead generator if you don't have one. And here's the thing, if you create a lead generator and it's not doing 85% of the sales, you might have to create another one and another one. You guys are here probably because I got you here from a lead generator. How many lead generators do I have? How many lead generators of mine did you download before you got here? I don't know, probably more than one. So the purpose of a lead generator is to do 85% of the selling. This is what I want to share with you guys is that I work so hard on my lead generators because I am trying to craft the perfect psychological path that turns these browsers, these like story ghost watchers into buyers. And I'm still doing it 14, 15 years in the game, multiple 6 figures a month. I'm still refining it, still iterating it, still sharpening it, not just the lead generator, but the content. I am still to this day running that experiment because that is the job as the face of your business. There is no just one and done lead generator. There isn't. You have to refine it until it hits. And you build it until they get it, until you get one that's 85% converting. You have to craft this perfect psychological path, and I'll explain exactly what that is. You need to make sure that even after they've, watched you on the internet, that you are now not just the person that they really like, but you are a logical solution before you ever speak to them. Because once you're a logical solution, the sale's already made. Hey, stop for a second. Did you know that most people who watch the CEO Glow Show are not even subscribed? What? So if you are on a mission to level up your beauty business, your family life, your prayer life, hit that subscribe button now so we can stay in touch. So here's the thing. Your marketing needs to kind of like mirror a sales call. So simulate a sales call. So think about what a consultation for you is typically like. What are you saying on the phone? What are you saying on a Zoom? So your marketing needs to simulate that. And then we're going to talk about the 8 psychological milestones. And that's why I really want to get into this because I've been wanting to get into this for a while because a lot of you guys think that one lead generator is one and done. Hold on. Some of you are not even promoting the lead generator that you have. Every day, you need to promote the lead generator that you have every day because we need data. Is this piece of content that you've created converting? If you're not even doing that, then we really have a problem. Aside from just the lead generator, selling is just engineering the right experience before the consultation. When someone gets on a call with you, if they're confused or skeptical or unsure or guarded, and let's say they're still comparing you to 5 other people, that confusion didn't start on the call. It started days ago. It started when they watched your content and it didn't hit. It started when they downloaded your lead magnet and it didn't shift for them. I take that very seriously. I think that's my fault because I want it to build conviction. I want to tell my story because I want it to resonate. So if your marketing, if your content isn't simulating the sales call is now, you're starting from ground zero. It's a rescue mission. And rescue missions don't convert because most sales calls fail because the person doesn't show up in the wrong psychological state. The people that buy your product or your service early is the woman who already believes in you before she ever talks to you. And if you're working so hard on your content, why not get some data? Which piece of content really hit it home? Which ad? This is why ads are so important. This is why lead generators are so important because you want to know which one converted the highest. Like which piece of content, which lead generator produced all these people who came to the consultation ready with their card. Your job is not to save the sale on the call. Your job is to do the work before the call. So that's the mindset shift. Stop thinking that content is posting. Start thinking that content is pre-selling. Because when you're building a real business, content isn't for engagement. Content is for education, conviction, clarity, readiness. And the sales call or the DM is simply where they pick the payment plan and schedule their appointment. If somebody watched like 10 of your reels, or if you have a podcast, listen to the last 5 episodes, or downloaded your lead magnet, read your story, saw a few client wins, shouldn't they already know who you are, what you do, why you do it, how you do it, why it works, why you are the only option for them? So take an assessment of your content. Does this really position me as the best option? You know what I'm saying? The call is basically just revealing the pain, the vision, the solution, the identity process, the urgency. If your content isn't answering the questions that your sales call has to answer, your content is broken. People shouldn't get on the phone to learn about your offer. They should get on the phone now to secure it. And that is the goal. People shouldn't get on the phone to see if they like you. They should get on the phone because they already trust you. Your content should simulate the sales call. The sales call becomes a non-event. That is my goal. It doesn't always work that way, but the marketing I want to do, I want it to pre-sell. So we're here to build a pre-sales machine because that eliminates resistance. Who here wants like the least amount of resistance? Who here wants to neutralize doubt? You know what I mean? Okay, so let's talk about the lead generator. This is the uncomfortable truth that most business owners never want to accept. Your first lead generator probably won't work as well as your second one. And it probably won't work as well as your third one and fourth one and fifth one. And there's nothing wrong with you. This isn't failure. This is just iteration. And I think most entrepreneurs stop way too early on their lead generators. They build one webinar. I have a webinar. I remember I did this too. I have a webinar. I have one. I have a PDF download. I have a masterclass. And I used to create these kind of like just for fun because I felt like I should have one. But now I'm getting really granular in how I create them. And the psychological mechanism designed to move a stranger from just meh to convinced, super convinced. You know, it's your lead generator is a weapon, and weapons take engineering. I've created maybe hundreds of lead generators. I still create new ones to this day because your lead generator is the first touch point in your pre-sale machine. It really will take somebody from a mindset of I'm curious to I'm buying. So most business owners have a pre-sale problem, that marketing problem, that lead generator is weak. Their content is weak. It's passive, it's vague, it's generic, it's forgettable, it's not clear. There is no tension. There is no psychological shift. There is no clarity. There's no anything inside that's like, oh my gosh, she gets me. So if your lead generator, your content isn't giving people a truly emotional experience, and then it logically rearranges how they see their problem, they are not buying. So you might not find it sometimes even on the 5th try. You will only find it through volume, a volume of attempts, a volume of testing. And that's why for those of you who might have a lead generator now that you're not even testing out, then that's the first problem right there, right? So you guys are all in the beauty business. You have a craft, right? So no PMU artist gets the perfect ombre brow on the first try, on the first skin. No injector masters lips on day 1. No lash artist, hits the perfect isolation on set 1. So why would a lead generator, why would content be any different, right? And so for those of you who aren't even posting every day, because you're waiting for perfection, there's nothing to fix because the machine hasn't even been built yet, right? So think of your content and your lead generator almost like your art. And that requires repetition. That requires adjustment, data, practice, precision, volume. And people think that success comes from just one freebie. No, success comes from refining 30 bad ones until you finally hit that great one. And like I said, even at multiple 6 figures a month, I'm still iterating. I'm still crafting new pathways to pre-sell people. So let's talk about the 8 psychological milestones that somebody needs to experience before they purchase.
If you're a beauty professional and you want a real upgrade in 2026, listen up. If you've been grinding clients, content, trainings, but you still feel stuck or uninspired, it's probably because you're not in the right room. The Skin Games is going down in the Dallas area March 19th through 22nd, 2026 at the Renaissance Dallas Addison Hotel. And no, this isn't just skincare. It's a major Beauty Pro event with categories and education across aesthetics, waxing, lash and brow, and makeup. Plus demos, vendors, and networking with people who are serious about results. Go to theskingames.com to grab your pass. All right, back to the episode.
Okay, 8 psychological milestones. So I need to make something very clear because people don't buy because you pitch them. People buy because their psychology shifted, and sales isn't persuasion on the spot, especially with digital marketing. Sales is the pre-persuasion. This is what happens before the call, right? And a very specific sequence. Here are the 8 psychological milestones that your marketing must create. Number 1, she knows the problem better than I do. That's the first switch. And the most important, before people trust your solution, they must first trust your diagnosis. They need to feel this. This woman is in my head. She described my struggle exactly. She understands my situation without me explaining anything, because your content is mirroring their pain points. And it's like, whoa, get out of my head. Who here felt that way about us, right? She describes my pain points so specifically that they feel gently exposed. And that is where the rapport begins. It's not with the DM, hey queen, but it happens so much easier and less awkward when there is precise articulation of their lived experience in your content. What does it feel like? Likely, you are a product of your own craft. You're a testimonial. Number 2, which is the next point. She has already overcome the exact problem I have. This is really important because this is the identity switch. And I think we humans are wired to trust the person who has done the thing that we're trying to do, not the person who talks about the thing. Your buyer must see that you face the same battle they're facing now, and you won. You've crossed the bridge that they're standing at. You're teaching them from the other side, and this creates hope, which is really important psychologically. They need to feel hope when they see your content because you've won at the very thing that they're trying to overcome. Number 3, they say the lowest level of an expert is somebody who's done it themselves. The highest level of an expert is somebody who's done it not just for themselves, but for other people. So number 3 is really important. She hasn't just overcome it, she's helped thousands of others do it too. And this is the proof switch, because one success story for a lot of people is luck, but 10 is a pattern. 100, that's competence. If you're at the thousands, that's a system you have locked and loaded. So your marketing needs to communicate that you don't just have personal experience, you have a repeatable expertise on this. People don't want a unicorn. They want a system that works for someone that's average, below average. This is where screenshots, testimonials, wins, and receipts come in. Number 4, we're halfway there. Tell your story. The psychological milestone is, I know her story. I like her. And because I know her story, I trust her. That takes you from a stranger on the internet to a relationship. There are things that I have said online, shared my story, that some of my family members who barely even talk to me don't even ask me about. They're not even curious. Sometimes I feel like I have deeper relationships with people I've never met purely because I know their story. People don't buy from experts, they buy from humans. So a buyer must feel, I know who she is. I understand her values. I like her essence. I feel safe with her. She's been through what I've been through. You build this through storytelling, through vulnerability, humor, opinions, for crying out loud, have an opinion, personality, because authority without humanity is alienating, and humanity without authority is ineffective. You need both. Number 5, this is the aspiration switch. If you can, if you can master this, it's golden. This is the identity aspiration switch. Number 5, I want to be like her. People buy from someone that they want to resemble. Your discipline, your glow, your skin, your hair, your nails. This is why we're in the beauty business. If you're selling brows, you should have nice brows. This is the way it is. You're a walking billboard. This is why you are the brand. This is why excellence matters. This is why romanticizing your discipline matters, because people want the energy that comes with it. They don't just want your information, guys. They want your transformation. Number 6, this is the logic switch. The logic switch says she can explain the solution logically, scientifically. We forget that, and clearly. And a lot of you guys have a lot of that knowledge. I talked to Misty and she blows me away with oh, here's what's going on with your skincare and here's why you got to use this and stop using that and blah, blah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, she's really logical about this approach. Not only do I know her, like her, not only is she a friend, but oh, this is really logical. Yeah, I'll do what you say. Maybe lean into that, especially if you have a product that's supposed to do something different from what other products do. Maybe you have a technique, right, with hair, skin, nails, brows, whatever, that does something different than what other products do. I think when you can explain this, this makes you the only option, because there's several options out there. But if you can show the science, the steps, how this works and why this works, why others won't work the same way this will, that is logical certainty. And that is required for every purchase. They need to know your system isn't just vibes, it's structure. You cannot rely on trust me. You must explain in your content and your lead generator why it works and why it works every time and why you're the only one, exclusivity, that can provide this, that creates this. Number 7, my favorite. I want my marketing to be so good that I want people to feel that even if I don't like her, I know she can help me because I am not for everybody. This is the competence switch. Some people buy because they adore you. I want people to buy because I want them to know that I am the best shot they have, which means I don't need to be obsessed with her. I just need to make sure that she can get me where I want to go. So this happens when your marketing makes you undeniably competent. This is where your tone shifts from friend to leader. This is where you demonstrate authority, command, wisdom, directness, discernment, certainty. Like it or not, your buyer must believe. They need to believe in your strength to lead them to where they want to go. And I get this a lot. You know, I wasn't sure about you. I was like, I know, I wasn't sure about me too. I get it. And the last one is, I understand why the solution is unique and why I can't get it anywhere else. This is the final milestone before checkout, and this is the exclusivity switch. A buyer must internalize that your solution is different, the framework is different, the container is different, the level of support is different. I cannot replicate this by myself. They can't do it at home. I can't find this anywhere else. If I don't buy this exact thing, your exact thing, they need to know that they're settling. And that is how you remove comparison. This is how you stop people from price shopping. This is how you eradicate objections. This is how you become the only choice. Once the switch flips, the sale is done. The call is a formality and the checkout is just a heartbeat. And you put all 8 together and you have what I call the psychological yes. A yes that happens before the call. And this needs to happen everywhere in your content, in your lead generator, anything that you put out there that's digital. You have to simulate pain awareness. And then the vision, you need to paint the vision for them. That's what your content should say. Your content should say what's possible. This is who you could become. This is the identity shift you've been waiting for, right? And that authority, that connection. Most importantly, certainty about the solution. You can say the right things, but if you don't say it with certainty, people aren't going to trust you. They won't buy.